talked before about something I call press release reporting. And it is a horrible trend that is happening more and more often in the media. I found what I have to say is the worst example of press release reporting I've ever seen. This segment is brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Sick of fad diets that work for a couple months and then you gain all the weight back? Well, I'm down 37 pounds on the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic program, and I've kept that weight off for more than a year. Schedule your free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. The only way you can really understand how egregious this is if I read the whole story to you. So thankfully, it's a pretty short story, but I feel the need to read most of it to you so you can understand exactly what I mean by press release reporting. So this story came out from mynorthwest.com. The headline, How Washington Residents Can Get $200 Toward Their Electric Bills. So this is, of course, talking about something we've discussed on the show, which is Governor Inslee trying to bribe voters with $200 of their own money, saying, hey, we're giving you a $200 credit on your electric bill, and this is coming to you courtesy of the wonderful, fantastic Climate Commitment Act, which, of course, voters are going to have a chance to repeal in November. So the whole thing is clear bribery. They're just giving you a $200 credit toward your account, but they've taken way more money from you as a result of the Climate Commitment Act over the last year and a half. So it's all just insane. But so keep in mind, of course, you guys know what's happening in the background of all of this, that this is entirely political. It's just your own money being given back to you as a bribe to keep you from voting yes on the initiatives in November. So again, I'm going to read this story basically in full to you. It's just wild. Washington residents can make money this month with just the tap of a phone screen or a click of the mouse. The Washington Families Clean Energy Credit Grants Program is providing up to 675,000 Washington households with $200 off their electricity bills thanks to the Climate Commitment Act. According to the Washington State Department of Commerce, the Clean Energy Credits Program is supported by $150 million from the CCA. The credits will help low and moderate income families with energy costs. The department said there are enough funds for about 20% of all residential electricity customers in the state. Those who qualify as low income get the priority. And then there's a quote from the Department of Commerce's website. And then it says, the Spokesman Review in Spokane reported Sunday this program has already provided $200 credits to 50,000 low-income families in eastern Washington. In addition, more than half of northeastern Washington counties receive automatic approval. Then it has a quote from a woman who is getting this $200 credit, and she says, I'm disabled and I'm elderly, and that means I can't work extra hours or, I can't earn extra income anywhere. I have to budget everything. So now you have this woman who's being quoted and she's talking about how great this $200 credit is. And then it tells you how to get it. Residents can apply for the credit and see if they qualify at wacleanenergycredits.com. It says, however, each electricity provider asks for different information. And then it goes through, Seattle City Light, for instance, will need your account number, your billing address. Tacoma Public Utilities will, they'll go to they have a website where you can apply if you're a TPU customer, blah, 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 so much. So it's a explanation of exactly how to do it. But then it says this, but don't wait. The deadline to apply for the credit is September 15th. The Department of Commerce said residents can look for further information in their utility billing statements. That is a news story. That's a news story on a news website. I saw that and I read it. And I genuinely thought, this wasn't a joke. I went to, on their Facebook page, it's Cairo News Radio's Facebook page, but they're the same as mynorthwest.com. They posted the story on Facebook and I commented below it. And this was not like a joke. It was a genuine question. Is this a government-sponsored segment? So I thought it was very likely, given that article, that Washington state government purchased some sort of ad. They did some sort of ad buy where there would be kind of a sponsored post that would look like a news story, but it's actually an advertisement. And I searched all around that article on the website, is there any mention of this being an ad? Does it say ad in the corner? Does it say promotion or something like that? I didn't see anything. So I asked them on their Facebook page, this has to be a government-sponsored segment. It's just insane. Now, I didn't get a response to that. However, About a day later, MyNorthwest.com updated their story. They put an editor's note on there. Additional context and perspective about the grant program providing the rebates to utility customers have been included to accompany the version of this story originally posted Friday, August 23rd. And they added this segment in the middle of the story I just read to you saying critics have spoken out over the timing of this rebate and included the information they should have included to begin with. You know, the fact that this is really suspicious, that this is just bribing you with your own money, comment from Brian Haywood with Let's Go Washington and things that he said about this. So this is how the story should have appeared originally. But that first story is the best example that you will ever see, probably, of press release reporting. And it's happening way too much in the media. And I think there's a lot of things that are to blame for that. Bias, a little bit. Laziness, a lot. Low staffing is a big one. So we dealt with this at Fox 13. You'd have government entities and, bombarding you with these press releases of all these great things that you did. And it's easy for them that they did. And it's easy for newsrooms to say, hey, let's throw this on the news. And you basically just take the press release and you make it you copy paste, make a few changes. And now all of a sudden it's a news story. Because content's king, right? And they need, you're in those situations and you're pressured. We got to get stories up, got to get stories on the news, all this. Well, this is easy. They packaged up a story for you, sent you a press release, and you just took it and you put it on the website with no journalistic criticality whatsoever. And in this case, they got called out for it. And I think that's probably why they changed the story so that it reflected even a little bit some semblance of journalism. But that's insane. I mean, think about that. That went out, on their website, on their social media pages. And you think about people who are just reading that, who, aren't like critical news readers, but they see it and they're like, oh, this is great. I'm going to apply for this $200 credit, which I suggest you do, by the way. Let me be clear. 100% apply for this credit because that $150 million that's funding it, that's your money that they took from you through the CCA. That's your money that you've paid through higher prices at the gas pump, through higher prices at the grocery store, and you should get it back. I want every single one of you to apply for this $200 credit on your utility bill if you haven't gotten already. And then I hope you will turn around and vote yes to all the initiatives in November and repeal the CCA. Like, hey, Jay, thanks for my money back. Still going to repeal the CCA. So by all means, I think this is just fine that MyNorthwest.com wants to do a story telling people how they can apply for this energy credit. But it is not a news story if you do not do any journalistic anything to point out to people what this is all about. So press release reporting, always be on the lookout for it. Absolutely unbelievable.